Hello again, YouTube. It's Cabalist66, and guess what I'm bringing you today? Fine molds from Japan's heavy hitter, the Type 5 Chi-Ri Imperial Japanese Army Tank, medium. This was released by Fine Molds, I want to say about 2 years ago. 2009, okay, a little more than 2 years ago. And here's a side of the box. It tells you you need to purchase your aluminum barrel separately, and the two Imperial Japanese Army tank paint sets that Gunzei Sangyo has released. These are actually a pretty good deal if you paint with enamels. They're about the size of a Tamiya pot times 2. So it's a pretty big jar of paint you're getting in there, and you get 3 per box, and each one of these boxes is about $15 US. Sure, you get it for less in Japan, but since they can't airmail this stuff, what do you want to do that for? Here we go. There's a picture of the completed model, and the photo etch. The tracks are individual track links, and there's the gun, the large one and the small one, the cannon. Fine Molds Corporation, Aichi. It's Toyohashi Aichi. Let me see. That's pretty much a good rendition of it. Sans camel. But since these tanks never saw the light of day, I believe, this tank is any armor tread heads out there will recognize this as the Japanese Tiger, which historians said would have been on par with the German Tiger, if not a better tank. Let's open the box and take a look. Okay. First things first, we have our instruction sheet, which gives some really nice photos, an engine diagram, a nice photo of an actual tanker posing with the tank, some history of the tank, even though it never actually saw service. That looks like it would have sent an elephant running back home to mama. Many things I've heard about the Japanese armor towards the end of the war were they were really leading up to stuff. Once the Japanese signed the formal ceasefire, nowhere on the form does it say that they actually surrender. And Americans started landing on coastal Japan, the Japanese had dug in so well and were prepared to defend Japan to the last man, woman, and child. That's probably what drove the U.S. president to his final conclusions, but that is a topic for another video. Here are some drawings of the actual tank on the drawing board. Which is what Fine Molds, I believe, based this tank off. Pretty nice actual engineer's drawings. Here we have the parts. And yes, we do have some photo etch. Again, Fine Molds is surprising me. And a great thing about this tank is it has indie links. You put them together. That's just so awesome. Being that this tank has 2 cannons, you do have to buy the aluminum turned barrel separately, and those are about $20 US. Okay, here we go, starting with the upper hull, drilling holes, starting with the running gear, assembling the hull, interiors painted white, So far this looks to be like the most complex build I've seen from Fine Molds. Well, this is probably their largest tank. When we get to the pieces, you'll see how pretty big the hull is. It did pretty much rival a Tiger. It would have been quite a killer. Okay, let's go on to the next page. We have the instructions. These, I don't actually know what they are. I believe there's some sort of exhaust port. Yes, I'm pretty sure they're exhaust ports. And here we have the next steps. And my favorite one is the tracks. It says the first one. Okay, that's what you're gonna glue piece A and B together, which is F1 and F2, and clamp it over. The next one you clamp over it without any glue. And the 100th link, you shave the little pins off, and you're gonna probably have to glue that last one. But this looks to be workable, which is out freaking standing. If these tracks are indeed workable. Okay, I'm sending an order to HobbyLink Japan, and I'm going to order the barrels for this one as my other Fine Molds tanks, because these plastic barrels, once you have aluminum, you just, well, you armor heads out there know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's continue with our brief foray into the instructions. Again, this is probably the most complicated Fine Molds build I've seen yet. Interior for the turret. Turret assembly. Installing the gun into the turret. Okay. And you have 27 steps in this build. And there's the final one. And again, I do not see the chrysanthemum on the tank, which must have been a practice ended at the end of the, towards the end of the war. There is the first one, which is experimental tank, August 1945, the first decal version. It's painted in parched grass. Karekusa Iro, parched grass, is TC15. Imagined painting. Okay, all the rest of these are imagined. So this one is an olive drab, flat olive drab, which I believe one other. There's the paint chart again with Gunze enamel acrylic and Tamiya acrylic, and English and Dutch. And this is a pretty nice camouflage. Imaged painting and marking, which I'm sure they mistranslated. It should be imagined. Tochi Iro, flat earth. Kusa Iro, Karekusa Iro, parched grass green. Kake Iro, that's easy to translate. Khaki. And that's a pretty nice camouflage scheme for it, with the Japanese war colors, which are much more vibrant, I think, than the German and American olive drab. These colors had more life to it, but considering they were fighting in the environment they were, And here we have a catalog from Fine Molds. If you guys don't know, Fine Molds also have an outstanding line of Star Wars ships. Wow, 19,950 yen for the Millennium Falcon. You can get that sucker, I want to say about $160 at HobbyLink Japan. If you have a model store, order it here in the States, you're looking at at least $300 for it. Yeah. This one doesn't show the new 148 scale kits. Nope, I do take that back. There's the Land Speeder 148 and the X-Wing. They just don't have the X-Wing. I saw at Hobbytown USA 2 days ago, $120. The 148 scale, almost 5,000 yen. And the Land Speeder's almost 3,000. And there's the new 144 scale Millennium Falcon. These are great kits, but I digress. I'm not going to actually go in through this because it's more like of a shopping list of all their parts, all their kits, all their stuff. So if you like Fine Molds, you've got it. Okay, let's start off with this review before it gets too long. Here is the bottom hull. Let me put my hand there. You know what? How about a Citadel paint pot? Give you a scale comparison. As you guys can see, it's pretty big. And the rivets are awesome. The detail here is just... These guys outdid themselves. And here is the top of the hull. Again, you can see pretty much how big this tank is going to be. It's going to be... I want to say, you know what? I want to say it's actually bigger than a Tiger. It's King Tiger size. Okay, let's begin with the first sprue. I'll try to keep it a little brief as I tend to ramble on, and I know you guys want to see the parts. So let's lay them on the table. Here is the turret. This massive turret. The stature of the modern Japanese soldier versus World War II, in no way, means, or form am I saying this to insult Japanese people, but Japanese people were lighter, and I mean weight-wise, and shorter than most average Americans. So these tanks were built with Japanese in mind. I mean, try getting, if you're 6 feet tall, try getting into a Mitsubishi Eclipse today and you tell me, am I right or am I wrong? I test drove one the other day and my head was bent over the whole ride. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. Okay, so here we go. Oops, sorry, banged the camera. Long-winded Michael again. Catalyst 66. Okay, that's a good spot for that. So let's take a look at the next one. This appears to be clear parts for the portals, periscopes, and decals, markings for the tank. Pretty heavy. And there's some, I don't know what that is. Okay, both of these sprues are identical, so I'm just going to go over one. Let's take a good look at this running gear. I think QDC on YouTube would have a field day painting this up. I'd love to see how he paints this up with his hairspray technique. Oh yeah. And as you can see, let me put my finger in there. You can see how, you know, by scale comparison. Okay, this one's bent off the sprue a little bit. And there's the sprocket, drive sprocket. Awesome stuff. Okay, let me put this off to the side for now. And let's continue our little adventure into Imperial Japanese Army. And here are the tracks. I did not open them because there's 1, 2, looks like 4 sprues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sprues. And they all appear to be the same, and the detail on them is very good indeed. Yeah. Try to get that glare off of the screen. There's those little pins. Yeah, these are going to be a joy to paint. Huh. One last thing down in the bottom of the box. Some armor modeling magazines. Looks like a Type 95. IJA. 5040. These are great magazines, but if you don't read Japanese, you're gonna have to go by the pictures, and who wants to do that? Okay, here's the first sprue out of the second bag. There was 2 bags. It looks like one of the gun barrels. If any of you out there have built this tank, please leave me a comment and let me know how it went. If you had any problems, no problems. Wow, guys, you know what? I think this is the same sprue from the Type 4. If it uses the same gun, then they might have killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I mean, why make a new sprue for it? 2009. Polystyrene. I'm thinking that has got to be the same sprue. I'll have to check in on that. Let me get this out of the way. And let's take a look at our final sprue. That's an interior deck plate for the inside the hull. Oh yeah, this detail is just wicked good, wicked. Okay. I can't wait to start my... God, this is awesome. I did see photo etch somewhere in the instructions. I'm guessing it must be in that sheet with the decals. But there you have it, guys. This is the Type 5 Chi-Ri Imperial Japanese Army medium tank. And Japan did not ever make anything classified above a medium tank. Just to show you guys quickly, there's the price of it here in the States. $129.95. Yep. You can get it at Fine Molds. Fine Molds also made it with let Tamiya do a reboxing of this one, but the reboxing actually comes with the metal barrels, and of course the paints are only in Tamiya colors. Tamiya doesn't play with Gunze. They don't play nice at all. I actually met the elder Mr. Tamiya in person once. He was a very charming man. But that as brings to the end of my little review for you guys. There you see the hull. I'm gonna go ahead and build this one up, I'm sure, and I'm gonna pose it next to my JSU 152, which was a beast of a Russian assault gun, big. I'm pretty sure this. I'd like to sit it next to a King Tiger also. I'm pretty sure this rivals its size. Well, there we have it all, guys. If there's any comments y'all would like to leave below for me, please do so. I welcome any and all comments. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm also take any tips or hints or advice you may have. Please like the video if you liked it. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so. Now that I've got my camera, I plan to start unleashing a torrent of videos that I have. First off being all these unboxing and reviews that I want to get out of the way. And second, I want to start putting up my build videos. Pretty soon I'll have something coming up your way, a tutorial of sorts. I've been making models since I was a young boy. My dad was at Kelly Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, where he retired from, and I used to watch F-4 Phantoms and B-52s flying over my house because we lived so close, and I used to love watching the Phantoms fly, and later the F-16s. I've been building models since then, and Tamiya has always been up there with me since 1970. I don't remember the first Tamiya kit I bought, but I do have 2 model kits that I built back when I was 10 years old. I still have them, so they're 36 years old. And that goes to show the quality of the workmanship that Tamiya puts in their kits if the plastic is still viable. I mean, it's awesome. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this little review. Pardon my Texas accent, but I am a born and raised San Antonio Texan. Yeah, San Antonio, Texas is my home. Any questions, comments, leave them below. Thanks again. Have a great day, y'all. And look at the size of that hull. What do you think? Adios, muchachos.